everybody, and a warm welcome to you from Cal State University East Bay Pioneer Stadium in Hayward, California. This is the USL Championship on ESPN+. Oakland Roots playing host to Memphis 901 FC. Sean St. Jacques and the Manchester United goalkeeping legend Gary Bailey here with you for this one. And Gary, we begin by taking a look at the Western Conference, where currently Oakland sit outside of the playoff spots.
Yeah, it was only a few weeks ago, Sean, that I think they were in fifth spot, and we were looking at them thinking a win, and they go right up in the top 2 or 3. Instead, they've gone in the other direction. No wins in the last 5. But if they get 3 points today, they will go above Phoenix Rising into that 7th spot. So the win absolutely critical for the Roots today.
On the other side of the coin, we look at the Eastern Conference. Memphis currently sitting in 5th, but a really brutal stretch of games coming up for them.
Yeah, 6 of the next 7, I think it is, away from home, and they've had 2 absolute thumpings in the last 2 matches. So again, they were sitting second with games in hand, looking fantastic. Now they do still have the games in hand, but they're dropping down that table. And as with Oakland, vital that they get something out of tonight's game.
No question about that. Opportunity knocks for both teams, especially considering the fact that Oakland are winless in their last 5 games. A home game for them tonight means 3 points. It has to for them.
Yeah, and this is where it turned around for them. The home match against RGV. Memo Diaz with the second yellow in the dying minutes, but they lost that 2-0. You know, they had a tough couple of matches against Phoenix Rising, got draws, thought they would win this, and then Juan Cabrera Jr. pops up with a couple of goals. This is the match before Arteaga in the dying minutes of the match gets that header. Shouldn't have been allowed that good a header, and that's where the season has turned for Oakland. You can see on Blanchet's face, he's hoping it turns back in the other direction.
And for Memphis, looking at their side of things, it's been quite up and down as of late. 2 good results and then 2 ones to forget right after that.
Yeah, look at that. Tulsa 4-0, Charleston Battery, good win in that particular match, but then 2 absolute thumpings by Phoenix Rising and San Antonio. Early on here, this was Carlos Harvey just following up on the keeper, parrying it out, but 6 different scorers in that match. Arteaga tucking it away. And they're going to have to pick themselves up off the floor now, Memphis. 10 goals conceded in the last 2 games.
Well, we're getting to that point in the USL Championship season. Each game means more and more as we get closer to the race to the postseason in another topsy-turvy campaign in the USL Championship. It's Oakland and it is Memphis. It's coming up next.
It doesn't matter how hard you play, practice, or compete, as long as you do it together. That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Oakland Roots teamed up and took on food insecurity, empowered all athletes to improve physical health, and expanded health and wellness resources available to the residents of Oakland and the Bay Area. We're committed to continuing our work to improve the lives and health of our community, together. Visit oaklandroots.com/anthem to learn more.
My name is Ed, and I live in San Leandro, California. I've always been concerned about being prepared and being on a medical baseline where I have a CPAP machine. I was wondering, will I be able to keep that thing going? I got an email from East Bay Community Energy, and they mentioned a rebate about getting an electrical generator. So I went for it. East Bay Community Energy has been great. They're doing a job to help our environment, and I think they're really supportive.
How can someone so cute be so complicated? Someone so grown up still have so much growing left to do. We know kids aren't mini adults. Their still developing bodies and minds need specialized care, including physicians and care teams who focus on treating kids and only kids, which is why from everyday to emergencies, kids belong at UCSF Benioff Children's Hospitals.
Tonight's match is presented in part by Anthem Blue Cross, UCSF, and Modelo. Starting lineups brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross. Anthem is transforming healthcare by improving the health of our local community. Sean and Gary back here with you. Gary, we begin with Noah Delgado's 11.
Yeah, 5 changes. Hackshaw and Tamakas come in after international games. Cedeno in the middle. Memo Diaz out wide left after his red card against RGV. And Johnny Rodriguez up front. So 5 changes there.
2 changes for Memphis, coming off the tough defeat against the champions last time out.
Yeah, Luis Fernando back. That's good news for their fans. Rashawn Daly drops to the bench, and Lauren Kisiedu for Rodrigo da Costa. And they've given us as a 4-3-3. It might be a 4-2-3-1. We'll soon see as we get to kickoff.
Ricardo Fierro is our center official tonight here in Hayward, California. 2 teams that really need 3 points. It is the Oakland Roots in their black and whites that kick us off, and we are off and running from Cali tonight. Memphis in the Eastern Conference in 5th place, knowing with a brutal schedule ahead of them, the 3 points tonight could do them the world of good in a very strong Eastern Conference. The West continues to be wild year in and year out as far as the playoff chase is concerned. If any team has been involved in it over the last 3 years, it's been the Oakland Roots. They're involved in another breakneck race to the end of the season to get to the postseason. They need a big result tonight as they're winless in their last 5. It's very well poised. Both teams are going to go after it, and we're excited to bring you a fun 90 minutes of action here on ESPN+.
I guess the big question is which Memphis 901 is going to turn up. One that up until 2 games ago looked to be unbeatable, playing fantastic football, dominating midfield with Aaron Malloy and Jeremy Kelly, was the one that got hammered 4-0 and 6-0 in the last 2 games. So they need to get back to those wonderful winning ways, and to give credit to Stephen Glass. After a slow start to the season, he really got them playing well with that 12-match undefeated run.
Last 5 for Memphis, 2 wins, 2 defeats, and a draw. As we said in the open, it's the last 2 that have really stuck out. The Phoenix game was certainly a result that was a head turner around the league, but then San Antonio went to Memphis, and the champions made themselves very much at home and put 4 past them in the last game. Injury report is brought to you by UCSF Health and UCSF Benioff Children's Hospital. Couple of notables for each team out tonight, and obviously for Oakland's side of things, they've been getting healthier. They've been getting players back from the Gold Cup. Neville Hackshaw, who played with Trinidad and Tobago, most notably back in the squad tonight. So hopefully that will be a positive impact for both teams in this game and moving forward.
Yeah, very much so. Brian Tamarcus as well, coming back on that right-hand side, and Memo Diaz after his red card against RGV and suspension. Delighted to see Johnny Rodriguez back in the lineup, because for me, he's a natural goal scorer.
Ball in from Nane. Easy enough for Bill Hamid in goal for Memphis tonight.
Good goalkeeper, Bill Hamid, so experienced, and that's why I think Memphis will get themselves out of this, although, as you said, 6 of the next 7 are away from home. Next one after this is Sac Republic away, so they stay in Northern California. It's a rough road, sort of slew of matches. The next one on the road after Sac Republic is Pittsburgh, so good luck with that, Memphis. But when you've got a goalkeeper as good as Bill Hamid, you've got every chance of getting results.
Hackshaw resets the possession for Oakland. Maybe a chance here for Johnny Rodriguez. He tried to find some space in behind. And again, Memphis do handle things, and it's controlled by Aaron Malloy.
Now, you mentioned Rodriguez, 5 goals to his name. Sometimes Pelias has played up front. Got 1 goal in 17 matches, not enough for a striker. Free kick given there. So delighted for Oakland Roots to see Johnny Rodriguez alongside Derek Formella. I just like those 2 as a combination. I think they're a real threat, and with Brian Tamarcus down one side and Memo Diaz the other, if they can provide service, Oakland Roots will score goals.
Keem Ward and now Aaron Malloy, a bit puzzled by the referee's decision, but it is a free kick for Oakland here inside of 4 minutes. Last time these two met, I have to go back to March 19th, 2022. Memphis won by 2-1. Aaron Malloy scored in the game. And Patrick Segrist scored as well. It was a Darish Formella goal for Oakland in a losing effort. And of course, this is a rescheduled game that was supposed to be played back on March 25th. Can Oakland get off to the right start here from a free kick? It takes a couple of deflections on the way through. Shot at the back post. Did it go in? Flag is up. Offside flag is up on the tail end of that. And Memphis somehow lived to tell the tale.
Wow, I think that was a great save by Bill Hamid. Let's have a look at it. Ball gets whipped in. And then a couple of black shirts went early. Now there, that's saved there from the goalkeeper. Even though the flag had gone up, he didn't know it. A little bit of chaos there. The shot coming in from Derek Formella, and then at the far post from Daniel Barbier. But again, the goalkeeper in red, we just talked him up, and within minutes, he makes a fantastic save.
Foul and a free kick is going to go Oakland's way here. Really was a jaw-dropping save. It looked initially like the ball was just sitting there on the line, but Bill Hamid made sure that it did not cross, and then it was cleared away before anyone could get a third opportunity after Formella took on the initial strike.
There's another chat there between referee and Aaron Malloy, so I think Malloy needs to tread carefully now. Once you've had 2 chats with the referee, the third is probably going to involve a card, you would think.
What last couple of years it's been for Aaron Malloy. We'll get back to that. Oakland are on the attack again, and Hamid is able to parry that wide and out, it looks like, for a corner. Although, no, it's going to be brought back here for a goal kick instead. Looked like Hamid had gotten a touch, maybe not. Oakland certainly thought so.
Yeah, I thought so as well, to be honest. But unless there was an offside flag for someone who had strayed, but let's have a look at it again and see if we can make out what happened here. Cedeno on the ball, just cutting inside.
Looks like it's deflected to me.
Yeah.
In the end, Memphis get a break. A lot of the Oakland supporters as well thought it was out off of Hamid. In the end, referee did not, and that's what matters. It's a goal kick. Another foul in the midfield this time. Oakland can reset through Hackshaw.
I think it was Knight Pickering with the foul, and a good chance to mention this 18-year-old player. So impressed with him. What a left footy he's got. Seen him score a couple of goals, one against Lou City where it just dropped at his feet and he hit it first time and it just flew into the back of the net. So excited to see how he's going to play. They tried him up front in the last match, and I think that didn't quite work. It doesn't seem to be a striker, rather Luis Fernando up front.
Another chance here for Oakland. Can they make something of it here? Another nice drive through into the penalty area. It deflects out for a goal kick as Cedeno is trying to find a teammate in the middle.
No complaint from Cedeno, so clearly it was a goal kick. They've tried to get on the front foot, Oakland at home, and it's been a nice start. They've tested Bill Hamid one way or another. And that would have been exactly what Noah Delgado would have asked of this team in black.
We talked about it in the open. 3-0 defeat against Tampa Bay, and Neil Collins send off last time out for the Oakland Roots, and that tough 4-0 defeat for Memphis last time out at home against the defending champions, San Antonio. So both teams are certainly going to be up for it. There's no question about that. Both teams need it. We talked about it as far as where each side is in the table, and especially the way the USL Championship tables have finished the last couple of seasons. Got to get as many points as quickly as possible, especially considering what's ahead, and particularly for Memphis and their schedule. Sent forward down this near side. Hackshaw takes No chances. Luis Fernando was the target. He makes his 150th regular season appearance tonight. What a milestone for him. The hair looks great to celebrate as well, with the blue tint. He's had a tremendous run in the USL Championship. Always been on contending teams, Luis Fernando. This Memphis team, with that tough stretch coming up, you never know. But we expect Memphis to be there at the end of the season. We're talking about that off the air before we came on. We certainly expect to be a team that gets there and maybe gets another home playoff game as they did a year ago. Get the ultimate flexibility with a Drinks and Seats 3-pack. Each pack includes 3 any game ticket vouchers, valid for any 2023 regular season home match. In addition, each voucher includes 2 complimentary drinks, either beer or soft drinks, which will be available to pick up on game day. For more information, visit us at oaklandrootssc.com/tickets. Call 510-488-1141. Oakland are in behind here, and they score. Johnny Rodriguez puts it in, but the celebrations have been brought to a halt here. Offside flag is up.
Difficult to see. Good finish by Johnny Rodriguez. Once again, just proving he's a natural striker for me, a natural goal scorer. Lovely ball out of defense here from Nabil Hackshaw. It's all of 60, 70 yards. Comes to Memo Diaz. Now, is he the one that they reckon was offside? Or is it Johnny Rodriguez in the middle? Yeah, Rodriguez in the middle. Looks like he's off. He just got to hold his run a little bit and stay onside, which I don't think he did. So again, nice positive start from the Oakland Roots. Just 1 goal in their last 4 matches. I guess one of the questions coming into this was, who is going to score goals? Well, Johnny Rodriguez, just as long as he can keep himself onside.
5 goals, 1 assist, second on the team, Johnny Rodriguez. He scored some spectacular goals as well for Oakland over the last couple of seasons as well, I should say. Had a bicycle kick against San Diego, I think, a year or 2 ago. That still comes to mind as far as great USL Championship goals.
And talking of goals scored, this Memphis side are the 2nd highest goals per match in the entire USL. And only San Antonio above them, so they can certainly score. I guess the question is, given the last 2 matches they've conceded 10, are they going to be tight in defense, or are they going to be a team that can both keep the goals out and score them at the other end?
And just to piggyback off that point, Gary, it's at 1.88 goals per game. 30 as a whole for the team. That's tied for 3rd most in the USL Championship. And that midfield depth that Stephen Glass has, and then the finishers up front. We expect Memphis to be one of those contenders at the end of this regular season in the Eastern Conference of the USL Championship.
You can see the pitch, it's speckled with shade and bright lights, or bright sunshine, I should say, which can make it a little bit difficult to read the ball as it comes out of the shadow into the light, just to give you a sense of some of the difficulties players face.
The ball is given away. Danny Barbier couldn't quite control it. And the pass in behind by Fernando is snuffed out. Here's Cedeno for Oakland. Rodriguez for Mella, making runs through the middle. Nane. Cedeno beside himself here.
I think he's got a point. It looked like he was tripped. The only question is it a coming together? Is it an accidental one? But he's ahead of the defender. Barbier with the ball in. No, I tell you what, for me, there's a trample on the back of the foot there by Akeem Ward. His first game back at Oakland since he left. So I think Akeem Ward, a lucky man not to have a penalty given against him there.
Like you said, Gary, Noah Delgado's group very much on the front foot. Things just haven't gone their way in the final third as of yet. And Memphis have very much been on the back foot in these first 14 minutes almost. Haven't had too many chances as of yet.
I guess if you're Stephen Glass, you come off and let's not end up chasing the game. And so, look, they're doing a high press now, so they certainly are not sitting back. But I think their focus is very much on try and keep possession, keep it tight, limit Oakland Roots' chances, and then as the game goes on, we'll start to click into gear and try and take a few more risks going forward.
You should be a coach.
It's a lot easier being a commentator. We were just talking about the number of managers. I think it's up to 4 already this season have lost their jobs, and no doubt many more will follow. The only positive in all that, of course, is from Tampa Bay, Neil Collins going up, not losing his job, but actually going up a level to Barnsley. So we wish him well after a fantastic run in the USL with the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
No question about that. Third tier of English football, Barnsley, League One.
Just hope he's had a discussion with his wife first. If you're swapping St. Pete's for Barnsley, those who know England will be laughing as I'm talking now, because St. Pete's is one of the most beautiful places in Florida in the States, and Barnsley, well, let's just say it's very different.
I think the people here in Hayward that call this area home in California would also agree with that sentiment. Shop the latest Oakland Roots and Soul merchandise by visiting shop.oaklandrootssc.com. Stay fresh, rep Oakland, and spread love today and all days. We had a brief discussion with Noah Delgado and their media staff at Oakland about the weather in the area this week in the lead up to the game, how it can be very hot in certain areas, then you go to other parts of the Bay Area, it can be very nice and sometimes downright chilly during certain times of the year, certain parts of California. Here's Fernando for Memphis, plays in a brilliant ball in behind, it's played across. And Kisiedu with the outside of his right boot tried to spear one towards the goal. It was blocked, and now Johnny Rodriguez looks to lead the break here for Oakland. Formella tries to join in as well. And Rodriguez rightly stops to wait for more black and white shirts to join him.
To see how quickly the white shirts got back there in the end. He had no choice, Rodriguez, but to come back, because there were no black shirts, a ton of white shirts. But credit there, Reese Buckmaster getting down the right-hand side there for Memphis 901. And they're slowly getting into this match and beginning to threaten up front.
Another chance here maybe for Oakland. It's deflected on its way through and then cleared away for an Oakland throw just to the right of the corner flag on the far side.
I think that's what they need to do. Reese Buckmaster's so good at getting forward, so too Akeem Ward. You know, as they feel that they have the Oakland attack under control, they'll start to push their wing backs forward a bit more often.
Cross into the middle, he's blocked. We have control there from Bruno Lapa, one of the great midfielders Memphis has at their disposal. Goes out of play on the far side. It'll stay with the visitors here with a throw. Think about Malloy, Kelly, Lapa in that midfield, and the luxury of having Rodrigo da Costa on the bench to start a game.
And he's their top goal scorer with 6 goals in the USL this season.
2 assists as well. Da Costa's actually also tied for 4th in the league with 36 chances created this season as well. But it's Aaron Malloy who actually leads the league in that category. Coming into the night, he has 43 chances created. The Irishman, formerly of Forward Madison in the USL League One level. What a rise he's had the last couple of seasons, Aaron Malloy. There's always a question when a player makes that jump from USL League One to the Championship. How are they going to adjust? And Aaron Malloy has fit this Memphis group like a glove, and as soon as I say that, he misplays a pass, but trust me on that. He has been tremendous at this level for Memphis 901.
He certainly is. When we chatted to Noah Delgado a day or 2 ago, we asked him, who do you look out for? He says, oh, they've got lots of good players, but Kisiedu with his right foot is one concern, and he said Malloy impacts the midfield and controls it from there. He's the general. He said, so those 2 players for him stand out in an otherwise, very, very good Memphis side.
Coming together there on the far side is a Memphis free kick. is a set-piece opportunity here for Stephen Glass's boys. Matsoso gives away the set piece, formerly of Lou City. And we'll see what the men in white can conjure up here.
We've got some big boys. Jelani Peters going forward, Graham Smith, and of course Luis Fernando himself. So nice options for 901.
Malloy will take it. Puts in a very dangerous ball, a searching ball as well. Not quite dealt with initially. Memphis do well here to win this back. Fernando. And again, Memphis aren't forced to go a little bit further back through Jeremy Kelly and company. Malloy assesses his options. Looks better at passing through the 3 Oakland players there. Oakland have had a few close calls in these first 20 minutes. Had a goal ruled out for offside from Johnny Rodriguez. A penalty shout. Cedeno as well.
Good penalty shout as well. Unlucky not to get that. But again, referee doesn't have the benefit of replays or VAR, anything like that. So for Ricardo Fiore, has to call it in real time. And in real time, it's difficult to say it definitely was a pen. And if you're not sure, you can't give it. So that's where it's a little bit different. People who watch matches with VAR will have to accept that some of the decisions will be different when it's just a referee, because you've got to be absolutely sure before you can give it. You can't rely on VAR to overturn it if you've made a mistake.
Ball is played towards Fernando on this near side, dealt with by Barbier. It is a throw-in to the visitors in the end. Lapa for Kelly. This will build again from Jelani Peters, formerly of Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Is hit into the penalty area. And Paul Blanchette, bit of an awkward moment there between him and Brian Tamakis, but Paul Blanchette is on the scene to settle things down.
Tamakis doing well to use his chest to bring it down, took all the pace of it because his goalkeeper got up really close to him. If he used his foot to pass it back, it could easily have been an own goal. Instead, just chests it down and averts any problems.
Buckmaster got a bit of a knock. After a nice little passing sequence from Memphis there. Lapa involved with Malloy in that.
Comfortable away from home, aren't they, Memphis? They don't seem to worry too much. In fact, they've only lost 1 game away from AutoZone Park this season. Have the Beale Street boys. So you can see they're very comfortable on the ball and on trying to hold possession away from home, and I guess that's why they've done so well on the road.
Yeah, 4 wins out of 6 coming into the night on Memphis road trips. The only loss, and it's 4 wins and a draw, the only loss was that 6-0 thrashing at the hands of Phoenix Rising. That's it. Sometimes, again, one result sometimes can change everything, but then other times it can be the outlier. For Memphis on the road this season, it has mostly been success.
And to be fair, with the loss against San Antonio, if you have a look at the XG, they actually had a higher XG than San Antonio. Jordan Farr's made 3 or 4 very good saves, and you could see Stephen Glass once or twice with his hands up in the air going, what do we have to do to beat Jordan Farr? So a different goalkeeper, different day, maybe it's a 4-3, but I mean, when your XG is bigger than the team that beat you 4-0, and it's just one of those days where it didn't work out. Whereas against Phoenix, their XG was very poor. They got played off the park. Ooh, Bill Hamid taking a risk there. They got played off the park against Phoenix. So there was a difference between the 2 results, I think.
Luis Fernando out wide. Kisiedu sliding it in for Lapa. Beautiful first-time ball back across. It was lovely interplay from Memphis there. Oakland do just about enough initially. Buckmaster trying to keep it alive on the second attempt. Oakland a chance to come out with it there. Rodriguez all the way back to help out here for Oakland Roots. But again, Memphis surround the ball this time, however. They do give away a set piece.
Kisiedu with a foul, but you're right, they do press very, very well. Memphis 901, and that ball there from Bruno Lapa, first time ball, nearly threaded through. I thought he might have a shot himself, but if you play the ball first time, you don't give defenders much chance to adjust and mark up tight. And obviously the higher up the levels you go in football, the more first time passes you'll see, because it's a very high level of difficulty. And Bruno Lapa nearly pulled that one off there a minute or so ago.
More Memphis pressure. Formella in a little bit of trouble. Hackshaw in support. Hackshaw plays a lovely ball on his far side for Masoso to run onto. Masoso, Cedeno trying to get towards the penalty area. It's well dealt with by Aaron Malloy, who got that challenge right. And Memphis regains possession. Although Masoso does get a boot back in there. And it is going to be Memphis's ball on the far side. Is a foul and a free kick. We'll go Memphis's way. And you mentioned this earlier, Gary. 1 goal in 4 games for Memphis. Winless in their last 5. Just been a tough run at a tough point in the season for Oakland and the Western Conference. And Noah Delgado talked to us about this. It's a stretch of play where, again, you just drop a couple of results and all of a sudden you're not in the playoff picture, at least not in the playoff places. Certainly Oakland are still in it, as far as the full picture is concerned, but it just reminds you of the way the West ended last season, where literally every team in the West was in it, mathematically at least, until the final couple of weeks of the season.
And they haven't struggled with goals up until then, Oakland. As you mentioned, only 1 goal in the last 4, but before that, 2-2 draw away at Phoenix.
Diaz for Matsoso. Chance to pick up the pieces at the back post. Back in looking for Rodriguez, who stuck a heel up. Couldn't make contact with it.
Yeah, talking of goals, they beat Orange County 3-0. They beat San Diego 2-0. So they have had games in which they beat Birmingham away 4-1, Oakland Roots. So it's just very strange that the last 4 matches, just that 1 goal scored against Phoenix Rising by Formella. Other than that, just haven't been firing up front. And then when they do score, like today, it's given as offside.
Malloy is played back by Kelly. Peters, not his best ball, but it's kept in. Keem Ward, as you mentioned earlier, Gary, making his return to Oakland, his former home.
I think it's the first time he's returning as well.
That is correct. It's a bit of a homecoming for him. Always adds a little extra motivation to do well.
No doubt a couple of comments from the crowd welcoming him back, or maybe not welcoming him back. Either way.
Lapa. Nice little turn by Pickering. Not a bad effort, but easy enough for Paul Blanchett.
It's that left foot of Knight Pickering we spoke about. Natural striker of a ball there. He didn't have much to work with, but he gets the shot on target. There's a little battle for the ball. And Aaron Malloy, who helps get the turnover. Now watch, he just gets a little bit of an angle and then whack, he gets a lot of power from a situation where he's going wide. He's not going towards the goal, he's going left, but still manages to hook that ball and force Blanchett into a save.
That is one back by Malloy. One behind from Lapa for Luis Fernando. Fernando in for Malloy, and Malloy tumbles over it in the end and commits a foul.
But frustrating for Malloy, did so well. He looks to the heavens, he did so well, and Luis Fernando gets the ball across to him, and as he goes to cut inside, just trips over the ball. A little bit of an embarrassing moment for a player as good as Aaron Malloy, but it happens to everyone. You just don't want it to happen on the edge of the box as you're about to shoot.
We have seen Memphis grow into this game as the half has gone on.
Yeah, I think Stephen Glass will be the happier of the two managers, as we suggested. Perhaps just want to soak it up early on, take the sting out the game, and had a couple of scary moments. Bill Hamid with a save, offside flag got them out of trouble with the goal, and the penalty appeal was touch and go. But they've got through that, and as you say, they've got stronger and stronger, and that would have been their game plan. And they want to get to half-time at 0-0, and I think the second half is where they will start to come up, because again, with 6 of your next 7 games on the road, your next match away at Sacramento Republic, you have to get a result here today if you're Memphis, and you have to turn around the results of the last 2 matches. I mean, you get beat by 10 goals to 0, the locker room, you know, head start to drop, so you want to have a decent result, and a win today here would be a decent result from Memphis 901.
Half an hour gone. Oakland have had the better of the opportunities. There's Diaz coming off of his suspension.
I was just thinking, I'm going to throw a curve ball into you here, Sean, but I was just thinking, one of my favorite players in the league is Rito. And when he moved from here, what was it, about 6-7 games ago?
Yeah.
We felt, you know what, they've got enough wide players to mark us down the right, can do a job. Memo Diaz can come across to the right if they need, but I always thought Rito was a scary player, and the managers we spoke to always said his ability, his power, you know, he's a top-class player. They seem to have struggled without him. Now, there might be a coincidence, but I'm just looking at it thinking, was Rito letting him go? Is it going to turn out to be a bad move for Oakland Roots?
Did have some big moments in the run-in last year for Oakland in their push to the postseason. Ricardo Rito. Breakaway goal against San Diego on the road comes to mind. That was actually in Noah Delgado's debut as head coach when Juan Guerra left. 3-1 victory. And there have been others after that.
Yeah, just opposing managers kept saying in chats with them that, you know, who do you fear? Rito, straight away, first word, Eduardo Rito, bombing down the right. He can bomb down in the 89th minute. He's got a huge engine. And not one manager, but 3 or 4. So when you lose a player of that quality, how does it impact your team? Again, it might just be coincidence that the results have not gone their way without Rito, but I guess we'll find out as time goes on.
Barbier switches the point of attack to the far side. It's kept alive here by Cedeno. Gets to the byline and shoots. He scores! Jesse L. Cedeno finds the angle. And Oakland Roots lead in the 33rd minute. It's a beautiful finish.
Absolutely brilliant from Cedeno there. The way he cuts in, he scores from such a tight angle as well. Question mark whether there was a foul moments beforehand, but he just keeps on playing. And to beat Bill Hamid from that tight an angle has to be a great strike. He had a shout for a penalty turned down. He's had a couple of shots on target. He's been the bright spark in this match so far, Cedeno. Have a look here as he sort of stands on the back of Akeem Ward's foot there, but he keeps on going, plays to the whistle. That is such a tight angle. And Bill Hamid is at the near post. Let's have a look at it from this angle. High and up as the goalkeeper goes down. Brilliant finish from Jacil Cedeno, the 23-year-old Ecuadorian. And now Oakland Roots do have their lead.
Third goal of the season. Jesse L. Cedeno. That might be the best of the bunch. And it's just what Oakland would have been hoping for. Just past the halfway point of this first half. Just when it looked like Memphis was going to start to turn the momentum in this game, Cedeno scores a huge goal for Oakland. And Memphis, after conceding 11 in a row without reply, have to find a way back on the road again.
Just one point to bring out there about Bill Hamid. I think he's a top-class keeper, but he did start to go down at the near post. And generally, as a keeper, I was always taught stand up big and tall, and that goal is possible because he was going down for a low shot and it was above his shoulder into the corner of the net. So I just wonder if Bill Hamid will look at that and think that maybe he should have stood up a little bit longer, but maybe I'm also just being very picky. It was a fantastic finish. I do think Bill Hamid is that good a goalkeeper that he might feel he could have done a touch more to stop that going in.
Well, that livens up the crowd here in Hayward as well. Just what Noah Delgado's boys needed, a bit of a jolt. And Cedeno provides them with a gorgeous finish, a very difficult angle. Memphis on the other end as Lapa gets his head to it. It loops it over the top of Blanchet's goal and out of play.
Blanchet just reminding the players around him to stay tight, stay strong. Try not to allow players to get on the end of headers like that can cause problems, but he doesn't have much to do, Paul Blanchet, and that's credit to his defense. They've not really given Memphis much to work with.
Buckmaster stepping in front of Rodriguez to make sure he doesn't slither his way in behind.
Well, Stephen Glass, we were saying that his objective probably was to get to half-time at 0-0 and grow into the match. Well, unless they can pull one back, they're going to go in potentially at half-time 1-0 down. So, as you say, it's two horrendous results. Not that they played badly, but 6-0 and 4-0, especially at home. The second one is not good results at all. Now you're 1-0 down. It's not going the way Stephen Glass would have wanted. So the big test for Memphis now. Big test of leadership on the field, big test of coordination between the players, of self-belief. They can work their way back into this match and wait to see whether they can play their way out of this result. If they don't, and they've got Sac Republic away, the slide could get worse and worse. So very important rest of match coming up here for the team in white.
Fernando for Buckmaster. Memphis gets back to work here. Mike Pickering didn't quite control that. Memphis keeps possession with Peters. Pickering looping it out wide. Fernando. Moved back over the top for Luis Fernando to run onto Hackshaw's there on the cover for Oakland, and he clears.
Hackshaw doing really well in this match. He's been so solid at the back, and he's played out some nice long balls as well, just to relieve a bit of pressure.
Played in a good chunk of time for Trinidad and Tobago in their Gold Cup run. Memphis back on the attack. Malloy wants it. Lets it run for Buckmaster. Memphis find a chance here in the latter stages of the half. It's cleared away in the end by Memo Diaz. Memphis tried to keep possession there, but Johnny Rodriguez for a moment had it. And Memphis will once again reset. Ball is down the line for Pickering. Offside flag is up. Roots are back at home July 26th at Cal State University East Bay versus Las Vegas Lights. Limited season tickets, single game tickets, I should say, are available. Purchase yours now before they sell out. Secure your tickets. Visit oaklandrootssc.com/tickets or call 510-488-1144. Keeping an eye on some other results around the league before the game kicked off here. El Paso at one point were 1-0 up against San Antonio. The champions have come from behind. They lead 2-1 with 12 minutes left in El Paso. So once again, San Antonio proving to be very tough customers on the road. A lot of shirt pulling there between Formella and Kelly. Goes Oakland's way. Free kick.
Kelly was trying to swap shirts before the end of the game there.
Normally that's supposed to be a sign of respect, I believe.
I think Oakland have just changed it a bit now. They've gone 1-0 up. They're content to keep the ball at the back a bit more, move it around, try and get Memphis to push up on them. Perhaps then they can knock the ball long over the top. But as long as they don't give the ball in defense or do something silly, which they haven't done there, they've played it out nicely.
That's so-so, near side here for Oakland. We talked about how Memphis will have to respond in this game. Interesting to see how Oakland plays with the lead. Some behind here, that was a chance briefly. Tamakis making the run. Ward makes the challenge. Oakland keeps it on the far side.
It was a wonderful switch of play, by the way. It was a 50, 60-yard ball whipped across the top. And in the end, Akeem Ward doing well to get to it. And that just shows you what they were doing. They were getting Memphis to come and pressure high and then leave a bit of space over the top. And Tamakis nearly getting on the end of that.
And nearly a chance for Oakland from that throw-in. Bill Hamid relatively comfortable in the end. Oakland had a chance there to double their lead. Memphis resets instead. Formella. To the near side, Diaz plays it ahead. Nane started the possession with some nice control. That's a nice little layoff here. Cross into the middle, Tamakis is cleared away. And now Pickering picks up possession here for Memphis. Doesn't have the numbers, but tries to stretch Oakland a little bit here. Lapa comes in for company. Kisiedu. Can Memphis find a late first half moment here to get back on level terms?
To be fair, for all their control of the ball at times, Memphis, they haven't given Luis Fernando much to work with. Such a good striker up front, and he's got to come back to get the ball, as we saw there. He needs service in the box if he's going to be effective.
We saw a great goal from Jesse El Cedeno to give Oakland the lead almost 10 minutes ago now. That has been the difference so far. Not wide there. Another chance maybe here for Memphis. The shot does come in, but it was always sputtering wide of the goal. Chance there for the former Oakland lad, Akeem Ward.
Puts his hand up as if to say, sorry guys, I thought I could hit target, but in the end I made a bit of a mess of it. But at least he's positive enough to try, and that's what they need, Memphis. They need some belief. This will be 2.5 matches without a goal, having conceded 11, as you said, and not scored. That's just, those sort of stats start to get to players after a while. You can have all the self-belief, but if the results keep going against you, if you can't score, you start to worry a little bit, and that's what Stephen Glass is going to have a conversation at half-time with his Memphis 901 players, and get them still believing, still playing the way they play, still looking for opportunities for Pickering on his left foot, for Luis Fernando, Kisiedu, Lapa. I mean, it's some wonderful attacking talent there, but they need to get them into good places, the likes of Malloy and Kelly. They need to play balls in and get their players into dangerous positions, because to be fair, I don't think Blanchet's had one serious save to make in this match yet.
Oakland wins the ball back. Matsoso was looking for it centrally. Memphis collapse on it and regain possession. Memphis, of course, had that 12-match unbeaten run at the start of the season. It was a franchise record. And that's when everyone started looking at them and being, oh, these could be a team at the end of the season that could maybe play for the title. These last few weeks, they've come back down to earth a little bit, and in some ways crashed back down to earth. They're hoping it can change tonight, and they will need a big performance the rest of the way, trailing here against a desperate Oakland team trying to end a 5-match run without a win. We are getting to that point of the season where it's starting to really matter, these results. They all do, of course, but those late summer months into September and October where it really heats up.
This would be such a great win for Oakland if they can get it, and there's still a long way to go in this match, and Memphis have more than the capability to get a result out of this. But if they got a win here, Oakland Roots, they would take themselves above Phoenix Rising into 7th position. That just takes a bit of pressure off. Just the belief that you're back in the playoff places and you're above a team as good as Phoenix Rising, and that does wonders for confidence in the locker room.
One added minute at the end of this first half. Can Memphis use it to help their cause here? A chance to cross this into the middle. It falls from Malloy. Tries to snatch it out of the air with his right boot, but he smashes it over the top instead.
That's a good chance this to at least hit target. I'm not saying you've got to score from here, but when this drops, you got to try and get that ball down and on target itself, and that one balloons over the bar, which sort of, I guess, sums up the problems that they're having up front, Memphis. Good chance to have at least tested Paul Blanchett there by Aaron Malloy.
We talked about the winless run for Oakland. The last time they won at Widener Field against the Colorado Springs Switchbacks back on June 2nd, a 1-0 victory against Stephen Hogan's group. They're hoping that this could be the night they add another big 3 points. They're off to the right start. We'll also see how Memphis responds the rest of the way. We've had the 1 minute of added time at the end of this first half. Referee takes a quick peek at the watch. Fernando trying to get on the end of it. Referee brings this back. It's a Memphis free kick.
I'm just wondering where the added time has come from, because if it's 1 minute, then surely at 46 it's done and dusted. There's been no substitutions. Can't think of any other reasons why you can get to add at least a minute, and now it's over the minute.
There's always that little asterisk, right? Minimum of 1.
Minimum, but normally you add on for a reason. But
yeah,
I can't quite. If this ball goes in the back of the net, trust me, I think Noah Delgado will have a fit with the referee and want to know exactly why this added time has been put on.
You would think it's the last act of the half here. Malloy whips it in. Oakland deals with it. And the half ends here in Cali. Well, we saw a great goal in that first half. A lovely finish from Jesse El Cedeno. That has Oakland out in front by 1-0, hoping to end this 5-match run without a victory. And they're off to a good start. We will see how Memphis responds in the second half. Two teams desperate to get 3 points here in California tonight. We saw Memphis have some good moments in that first half, but Oakland were more clinical. Jesse El Cedeno has them in front with 45 minutes still to play. Plenty to come here at the half between Oakland and Memphis, with the Roots in front by 1-0.
Eating a balanced diet and being physically active are two of the most important things you can do to be healthy at any age. Fruits, vegetables, and lean proteins can help control your weight and prevent heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. Regular exercise can help boost your mood, digestion, and sleep. That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Oakland Roots encourage you to eat right and get active. For additional healthy tips, visit www.oaklandrootssc.com/anthem.
How can someone so cute be so complicated? Someone so grown up still have so much growing left to do. We know kids aren't mini adults. Their still developing bodies and minds need specialized care. including physicians and care teams who focus on treating kids, and only kids, which is why, from everyday to emergencies, kids belong at UCSF Benioff Children's Hospitals.
The mission of Fertile Groundworks is of teach, grow, give. Teach people how to grow food for themselves, grow it, and then give it away to people who need it. We grow about 25,000 pounds of food a year. We also operate something we call the Sustainable School Garden Program. Teachers ask us for help setting up a garden on their own campuses. East Bay Community Energy was nice enough to give us $2,500 that we were able to focus on one of our school gardens, and I'm truly grateful.
Se metió, balón adentro, golazo.
Sean St. Jacques, Gary Bailey back here with you at the break. Oakland leading Memphis by a 0-0 here in Hayward, California. Big 45 minutes still to come between these two who both need 3 points very desperately in the USL Championship standings. As we take a look at the upcoming schedule for both of these teams, we've touched on both of them at times throughout the half, Gary, but here's what's to come for Oakland, and they've got a few on the road here that are pretty notable.
Yeah, Monterey Bay is not easy at all. El Paso, how well are they playing at the moment? But there's a couple of matches you would think that they'd say Las Vegas Lights, Detroit City. They're both struggling. That's where you've got to pick up your points. And then Charleston Battery are not easy either. So, yeah, as you mentioned earlier, it's so tough. You've got to just take the points where you can get them. And certainly Las Vegas and Detroit are good chances for them to get points.
And certainly if Oakland can see it out tonight, taking that confidence into this run would certainly help Noah Delgado's group to turn the corner in the middle of this USL Championship season. Well, we've talked about Memphis' road ahead, and it is extremely difficult. 6 of the next 7 are on the road, including tonight. Sac Republic, Orange County, and then Highmark awaits before we turn the calendar.
Wow, and then away again at Loudon, who at home have been a difficult side to beat. At Indy, who are struggling, they'll be looking for home form there. So whenever you're on the road, it's going to be difficult. Again, their home match against Orange County. Orange County have been in great form since they changed their manager. So again, nothing easy. You just got to get out there and battle for everything that comes your way. But if Memphis don't get back in this match, you can see a run of where they pick up very few points and start to slip down that table in the East.
The other thing to mention as well is it's getting good. We're getting into the good parts of this USL Championship season. No question about that. We've got a big 45 still to come. Oakland leading Memphis at the break by a 0-0. News and notes, a live scoring update, and the upcoming league schedule is to come at the half in Cali.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league. The USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer. Bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Slide this in behind. Now it comes for Valesky. Tries to leave it there for Gleedle. Sam Gleedle. It's a tap in for Christian Valesky. And Monterey Bay are absolutely flying tonight. Bomasoso. Right through the middle. Johnny Rodriguez. Rodriguez scores! Something out of nothing for the Oakland Roots.
There's nothing like the support of your teammates. When it comes to your health, Anthem Blue Cross is here for you. If you're enrolled in a Medi-Cal health plan at the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, then you may need to renew your coverage or find a new plan that's right for you. Anthem offers budget-friendly individual and family plans, some starting at $0. Renew your coverage or explore other options. Learn more at remaincovered.com/CA.
Sean St. Jacques, Gary Bailey back here with you at the half between Oakland and Memphis. Good game so far, and certainly a crucial 45 minutes for both teams still to come. Oakland currently leading by a 0-0. And we will get to the second half in just a couple of moments here in Hayward, California. But first and foremost, we look at the news and notes from around the world of the USL at large. Of course, we encourage you to predict the outcome of the Women's World Cup to win prizes. Go to uslsuperleague.com/bracket for more. Presented by the USL Super League. And the big news with Arkansas, men's and women's, joining the fray as well. And of course, the USL on ESPN2 schedule continues. Monterey Bay and Oakland coming up on July 15th at 10 p.m. Eastern. Again, it continues to get good. Juicy matchups coming up in the USL Championship. And Gary, we take a look at the live scores from around the league, and the first result that pops out to me, Pittsburgh going to Lou City and winning by an Albert Dequa 0-0.
That's a brilliant result. Absolutely fantastic. San Antonio coming back from 1-0 down at El Paso. Looks like they're going to pull it off there. Charleston actually not a bad result to get away from home at Indy 11. Detroit, they'll probably feel they needed to win at home because they're struggling just outside the playoff spots. And then FC Tulsa, well, Miami with a new coach seem to have turned the corner against San Diego, but looks like they're going to lose this one at FC Tulsa.
We'll see if San Antonio can hold on after coming from behind against El Paso. They were 1-0 down in that game. Upcoming schedule looks like this in the USL Championship. Gary, what stands out to you?
Well, seeing we've got Memphis away at Sac Republic, which is their next match down the bottom right there. That's going to be a really, really tough one. And then on the left, Oakland Roots at Monterey Bay, which, if I'm not mistaken, is a local derby. North Carolina, both by the seaside, more or less. So, and it's at Seaside at Monterey Bay. So it's another good one to look out for there.
It's Sac Republic. They just keep on going. Memphis will have to deal with them coming up this weekend. At the moment, they have Oakland to deal with, and the Roots are leading by a 0-0 here. Jesse El Cedeno has the hosts in front. We will get to the highlights from the first half, and then the second half kickoff from California. It is all coming up next.
How can someone so cute be so complicated? Someone so grown up still have so much growing left to do. We know kids aren't mini adults. Their still developing bodies and minds need specialized care, including physicians and care teams who focus on treating kids and only kids, which is why from everyday to emergencies, kids belong at UCSF Benioff Children's Hospitals.
Wouldn't it be great to have delicious, healthy meals delivered right to your door? No planning, shopping, or prepping. And what if your delivery was full of plant-based, fresh ingredients that truly nourish and fuel your body? Try Thistle. Our in-house chefs create a new menu each week for you to choose from before it arrives ready to eat. No prep needed. And for a limited time, you can save $100 off your first 4 weeks. So go ahead and autopilot your diet. Get started today at jointhistle.com.
My name is Ed, and I live in San Leandro, California. I've always been concerned about being prepared and being on a medical baseline where I have a CPAP machine. I was wondering, will I be able to keep that thing going? I got an email from East Bay Community Energy, and they mentioned a rebate about getting an electrical generator. So I went for it. East Bay Community Energy has been great. They're doing a job to help our environment, and I think they're really supportive.
Tonight's match is presented in part by Anthem Blue Cross, UCSF, and Modelo. The Anthem Blue Cross halftime rolls on here. Let's jump into the first half highlights between Oakland and Memphis. And Gary, we begin with Oakland on the front foot.
Yeah, this is an offside at the end for Daniel Barbier, but still a good save from Bill Hamid. No matter when the flag comes up, have a look at the goalkeeper. That save is all from 5 yards. The big man in goals keeps that one out.
5 minutes later, and the script at the time had remained unchanged. More Oakland Root attacks in the final third.
Memo Diaz with a lovely ball in. Johnny Rodriguez had just got ahead of the others. The ball was perfect. The finish was perfect. The timing of the run, unfortunately, wasn't from Johnny Rodriguez. But they were on the front foot, Oakland Roots. Here he's saying, me, can it be me? And he's saying, yes, it was you. And so they kept the pressure on. Barbier knocking the ball in here. Now, is it a trip on Cedeno? I thought it was from Ward, Akeem Ward. There was contact, but I can't be certain. Neither can the referee, in which case you can't give it.
There was a brief moment where there was a question of, did Cedeno trip over his own 2 feet? It was so tough to tell. In the end, referee did not give the penalty, and Oakland kept on coming in the first half, frankly.
Another switch of play from Barbier, and then the tackle. Cedeno comes away from him. But look how tight the angle is here, and he whips it just above Bill Hamid into that top corner. Watch the goalkeeper go down a little bit early. He's big, and then now he starts, wait. He now goes down as the ball is hit. And very cleverly, Cedeno assumes he might go down and plays it into the space above his shoulder.
That was just after a good spell for Memphis in that first half, but Cedeno's third of the season has Oakland ahead with a big 45 minutes still to come. You mentioned this earlier, Gary. A win for Oakland will put them right back where they want to be amongst the playoff places in the Western Conference. Memphis, including this game, have a brutal stretch of play coming up with 6 of their next 7 on the road, and Stephen Glass will expect a response in the second half from these boys.
Oh, absolutely. He'll expect it, he'll demand it, and he'll let them know that if they don't get a result, then they're going to go to Sacramento Republic looking to try and get something against a fantastic side, and then all of a sudden it's 4 games without a win, and things can spiral downwards. So crucial next 45 minutes for the Memphis 901.
Carno Fierro, our center official, will await his whistle at the start of this second half. CL Cedeno's goal at the moment is the difference. Just making sure that we have 11 boys each on the pitch. Never a bad thing to do. And this is a makeup game from March 25th between these two, and the second half of it is off and running here in Hayward, California. Oakland in charge for now. We will see how Memphis responds in a game where they really need to get a result, especially if they can get a win here. Could really help them turn a corner. Oakland hoping that this could be the day they end their 5-match run without a win and put them back in the playoff places in the wild and wacky Western Conference of the USL Championship, which is developing into another great playoff race as these summer months come and go.
And of course, it's in the second half that the substitutions gets made as the throw-in has to be taken from the right spot. I'm just looking at the bench for Oakland Roots, for Noah Delgado. He's got Wolfgang Prentice, who's played the last 4 games. He's a promising player. Palai's up front, who I don't think really has a good impact. Trayvon Reed, the Jamaican, he's good. Daniel Gomez, so a couple of options there for Noah Delgado, which he will need in the next sort of 10-15 minutes. I'm sure he'll start making substitutions.
Tamakis, into the middle it goes. It's a nice little ball laid off to him by Rodriguez initially. And Formella was in the area. Oh, and a little bit of a coming together there. Hamid and Formella not too thrilled with each other at the moment, and it's potentially going to boil over here.
Well, Hamid raised his hand to Derek Formella, which you're not allowed to do, so Formella seems to be really incensed. But I don't know what he did that upset the goalkeeper in the first place. So, interesting. I don't know how the referee's going to sort this out, but there has to be a yellow card, I would think, for Bill Hamid for raising his hand at least.
We don't have proof of this because it was off-air, Gary, but we said before the game it was going to be intense, it was going to be passionate. Two desperate teams, and we just got a glimpse of it there.
You've got to keep yourself calm in these sort of games. Yes, you want the passion to be high, but you don't want to get yourself into trouble unnecessarily with the referee. He keeps saying, I only want to speak to the goalkeeper, and I assume Malloy is there as the captain. Got away with it, but you can't afford to raise hands or do anything towards any player, and Derek Formella is not happy about it, and the chirping continues. More discussion with the officials, first time from Oakland Roots.
And you made the point earlier, Gary, for moments like this, there's no VAR, so it all comes down to communication amongst the officials here to play out what happened. And appears both coaches have been summoned here. Explanation is being doled out here to Noah Delgado and to Stephen Glass for what took place. Again, we saw the tail end of it where both pushed each other's hands away from each other, and then it boiled over after that. Clearly, Ricardo Fierro was either told something or heard something from one of these two to have him come over. But again, we can't say for sure what caused it.
It seems like there's something else in this altercation. Let's have a look. Is there... He hits his hand and he hits his head. If that's all it is, then it's really, then there's a lot of pointing going on, and then maybe he's saying that you told him I hit you when I didn't hit you, and it all seems to spiral out of control. And now I'm not quite sure why they're going to bring the managers in. For a moment I thought there might be something extracurricular that had gone on, because why else would the referee want to speak to the manager? Could be something said from one player to the other that's upset Bill Hamid.
Again, we're waiting to see Ricardo Fierro and company sort this out. There's been multiple people that have also been brought in, not just the head coaches here, as this situation has developed. If you're just joining us, Hamid and Formella had a coming together at the end of the last sequence. And the referee came over to talk to both coaches about what happened.
Well, if inappropriate language was used, then it's a red card, I would assume. Could the referee have heard what was said, or does he have to go by what one of the players said? So it all seems to have got itself all mixed up here into something deeply unpleasant. It reminds me of San Diego. Was it end of last season or the season before, when the players walked off the pitch for a slur by one player against another? I just wonder if it's sort of heading in that direction.
Of course, we hope that that's not the case. Of course, we have to wait and see what happened. We haven't been told what was said, haven't been confirmed to us what happened. For the time being, both coaches are taking this time to regroup. Femela is not happy about something. That is a wry smile, not a happy one. And Hamid looks very displeased as well.
As the referee asked the coaches just to have a word with the players to calm things down, but ultimately the referee has to make a decision. Either something inappropriate and unacceptable was said, or if he can't prove it was said, they have to get on with the game and leave it till later. But they have to make a decision, and the game has to go on one way or another, which it does seem to be doing. Maybe he's asked both coaches to have a word, make sure whatever inappropriate that was said doesn't happen again, and that he'll get on with it. And if further action needs to take place, it will do so after the match. But Ricardo Fierro, the referee, being very vigilant and careful and bringing everyone into the discussion, which I think is the right thing to do.
At the moment, we are going to play on. The referee's whistle goes off again as the ball was put back into play. Doesn't appear that any cards have come out, and we will move on, it seems.
The question is, has it lit the touch paper, and are we about to see something happen and then it all kicks off? So I think strap yourselves in, as this could be a very interesting remaining 40 minutes or so. The crowd also making a bit of noise. We certainly hope it isn't anything unpleasant, it's just a misunderstanding, although given the amount of time it took to sort it out, you do think that something very inappropriate has been said.
Free kick for Memphis here. Kelly for Ward. And if we do get any more information about what happened, we'll pass it along. Unfortunately, that is all we know at the moment from that situation that we can tell you. Here's Peters. Kelly. Nice run initially from Kelly. It's a good step defensively from Tarek Morad. Goes out of play. It'll be Oakland's ball on the near side.
The question for me is, can Memphis 901 use this alleged injustice? And we've got to use the word alleged because we don't really know what's going on. To use it to sort of power yourself forward, fire your team up, the injustice of it all, get on the front foot, or maybe it's Oakland Roots who use it to fire themselves up. You've got to use everything you can in a match to try and get on the front foot. See if Memphis can do that or not.
Another reason to keep in mind that incident is because it will impact stoppage time at the end of the game as well, you would think. We'll see how the game unfolds from here as Malloy plays it back to Bill Hamid. The ultimate flexibility with drinks and seats 5-pack. This pack includes 5 any game ticket vouchers valid for any 2023 regular season home match. It includes 2 complimentary drinks as well. Here are soft drinks which are available for pickup on game day. For more information, oaklandrootssc.com. Call 510-488-1144. There was a chance there for Memphis on the other end. Paul Blanchette on the scene cleans up any further action.
Yeah, the ball didn't quite fall for Luis Fernando rather. The ball comes to him and it sort of comes off his leg or his waist, and he just can't quite control the ball. And he needs that sort of service. Normally he's very sharp. Emmanuel was USL player of week 10. has had moments when he's been in really good form. And that one there was a little half chance that he wasn't able to take.
Out wide by Malloy. Luis Fernando chips it in, trying to find a teammate. Kasadu able to get onto it, and it does trickle out of play. Laurent Kasadu had some chances. Played to this near side, Tamakis. It's a foul and a free kick. Cedeno, the goal scorer, wins a set piece. The only goal of the match has been scored by USL Cedeno.
Nearly won a penalty as well for his team, so if you're looking for a player who's had the biggest impact so far for the Roots, I don't think you go too far wrong if you pick Cedeno.
He's in again, Cedeno, he goes down. Another penalty appeal for Oakland here. Referee keeps the whistle at his side.
I didn't see enough for a penalty there.
Tamakis. Trying to get it towards Formella. Another chance for Oakland. It is whipped in, headed down by Rodriguez. It was blocked, and Kasadu, with some help from Kelly, are able to clear it for Memphis. Now Fernando gets away from one down the far side. Fernando sends it in towards the penalty area. It's headed down delicately for Blanchet.
Let's have a look again at this Cedeno run. Great chest there, goes in. No, there's nothing there. There's no trip there. He just goes down. There's a bit of a shoulder in, but that you're allowed to do. There was no obvious trip. And again, without VAR, it has to be absolutely clear that it's a trip before the referee can give it. So I think the referee 100% right just to wave that one on. But here's the threat, isn't he, Cedeno? He gets in the box and makes defenders very nervous.
Kasadu spinning around. He goes down holding his leg. Referee didn't give a free kick, but he does stop the play.
Just going back to that incident, I think we're hearing from the touchline that there was a racial slur, but they're not quite sure who made it. Certain players heard it, but they couldn't be absolutely sure who said it. That's what we're hearing. And that would explain the coming together of the coaches, the seriousness of the moment. But if you don't know who did it, then the game just has to go on until afterwards. Then you let the authorities sort it out.
And there was a league official that was brought into that conversation while it was being had with the two coaches as well. That's what we were told took place. And again, for the time being, like you said, Gary, we play on. And obviously, if that is the case, beyond unacceptable, and the referee went through the proper precautions there to handle the situation to the best of his ability.
And it did seem that the player they were pointing to was Derek Formella, and he was very angry. We wondered why he was so angry. And probably he said, well, it wasn't me, or I didn't say that, or whatever. So we have a very upset Bill Hamid on the one side. We have a very defensive Derek Formella on the other side, and not really sure what happens. I think we'll park it there and leave it for the officials to deal with, and let's hope we can move on with the rest of this match and they're played in the right spirit.
Half an hour left. Will be a big chunk of stoppage time for the stoppage to handle that situation by the referee. Given away briefly. There's a chance for Bruno Lapa to get on the end of it. Boy played that centrally for Kelly. Oh, it finds its way through. Kisiedu scores! Well, it was a very kind bounce into the path of Laurent Kisiedu. He finishes, and Memphis are level. It's one each.
Good finish from Kisiedu. Blasts that past Blanchett and gives the goalkeeper absolutely no chance whatsoever. But they've been pushing, haven't they, Memphis? They've been more on the front foot. Yet a little bit of deflection wide, but he just balances himself there, Kisiedu. As Blanchett goes down for the low shot, he sticks it high and up into the back of the net. It's a fantastic finish, a little bit of luck. And the goalkeeper nearly gets his right hand to it, but unfortunately, look at the face on him. He's shocked that his team that have been on the front foot and haven't really given any chances away have now given this goal away. Now we really do have a match on our hands.
Fourth goal of the season. Kisiedu, well timed from a Memphis point of view to get back on level terms. And the response does come for Stephen Glass's boys here. And Tamakis brought down here by Akeem Ward. It's a free kick. Yellow card is out. And Ward is the man presented with the card, it appears.
Let's have a look and see whether he gets any of the ball here. Tamakis goes past him. And it's a bit of a lunge, and no, he doesn't get the ball, and he does trip the player. So I think that's a fair free kick and possibly a fair yellow card too. Welcome back. Is he the first player to get a yellow card? I think he is.
That would be correct, Gary. It's just over an hour. Memphis with an opportunity, beg your pardon, Oakland with an opportunity to try and get back on top here. Great response from Memphis for these last few minutes. Sent back in towards the back post. It was Diaz who crossed it. Referee spots an infraction inside the penalty area. Nane and company not happy, but it is going to go Memphis' way here.
I didn't see that as a foul. I thought Nane got up nice and early and big and won it clean and fairly, but that's not the way referee Ricardo Fierro saw it. So there you go, free kick it is.
Set forward by Hamid. Picked up by Formella. Dispossessed by Fernando. And Hackshaw sends it into the bleachers. Memphis throw. Sometimes you see the ball get held by the fans. That was a nice, quick recovery of the ball there. Another whistle here, another free kick for Memphis. And Oakland get pushed closer back to their own penalty area.
I think Stephen Glass will be happy at the second half. He would have said to his troops, we need to get back on level terms, we need to be the aggressor, and that's what they've been and continue to be. So a good second half for the visitors, not so for Noel Delgado's match. They've lost the impetus. They haven't created many chances, or as many as they would like. They seem to be on the back foot a little bit.
Kisiedu trying to slide that through for Pickering. And Ward, as he'd won that ball back, sees an infraction against Kisiedu, who ran into Napo Matsoso. It's going to be a free kick for Oakland. 25 minutes plus stoppage time to go.
Which is about the time that the coaches start looking at substitutions, impact players, extra energy, fresh minds. So I wait with interest to see what the two coaches will do. I'm pretty sure something will happen in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Johnny Rodriguez hasn't been that sharp. He started off so well for Oakland Roots, but he's gone a bit quiet up front.
Malloy in behind here for Memphis. Lovely back heel to Lapa. And Lapa's shot is a grounder into Blanchett. more vibrant from the visitors here as the half has gone on.
And with that in mind, and the fact that Memphis are on the front foot, it would make sense to me if you're Noah Delgado to think, let me bring on some fresh legs, just give an impetus, try and get us back in the match. It really isn't happening up front. Look at Formella, he's nice, he's deep, trying to win the ball. Johnny Rodriguez is isolated up front.
Malloy plays in Kisiedu. Back to Kisiedu as Lapa was brought down. It's a free kick for Memphis just outside of the penalty area.
It's a dangerous area. It's in the center, so you could have a shot, although it's I guess it's, what is it, about 26 yards out, so a shot is possible. You can also just try and chip one in there for the big boys to have a go at. So dangerous moments for Oakland Roots. Even a draw here is not good enough for them as the home side. They need to get those 3 points if they're to jump up the table.
They're currently in the live table in 9th, which is just outside of those playoff spots. Memphis would actually move up to 4th in the East after Lou City lost at home to Pittsburgh earlier on tonight. What a run that Bob Lilly's boys have been on this season in the league and in the Open Cup, must be said. Big opportunity here. Aaron Malloy for Memphis. 4 men in the wall for Oakland. Malloy strikes it, and it's a brilliant save by Blanchett. Really good strike from the Irishman, but Paul Blanchett makes sure that it doesn't go into the back of his net here.
That's a fantastic save by Blanchett, who really has been one of the form players this season. Got to stretch and get up there, gets both hands across to make sure it's a good contact. Important and vital save.
Boy from the corner, sending it into a dangerous area. Nobody in white really attacking it for Memphis, and now Ward's given this away. Maybe a chance to break, but great recovery. Hakeem Ward there to win it back for Memphis after he had just given it away.
It's another good chance for Oakland Roots to have done something on the counter-attack, and they weren't able to. Just sort of struggling to impact this game. There's Johnny Rodriguez, hardly mentioned his name. Just getting more and more of a stranglehold on this game on Memphis 901.
Yeah. Pickering from Kelly, dispossessed. Nane sends Oakland on their way. Sent to this near side. Tamakis will slow it down a peg or two. Soso plays in Tamakis. 3 waiting for it in the middle. It's floated centrally. Headed into the air for Mella. Sees Malloy headed away from him. Chance here for Pickering in transition. Memphis have numbers in support. It's Pickering. It's deflected on the way through. It's going to trickle out of play.
As soon as that ball gets on Pickering's left foot, you've got to be careful. You can't give him space to wind up and take a shot. Lucky to get away with that one, Oakland Roots.
Oakland is going to make a substitution here, powered by East Bay Community Energy. East Bay Community Energy providing green power at low rates. Visit ebce.org to find out more. Daniel Gomez comes on, and Napo Matsoso makes way with 20 minutes of the 90 left. Aaron Malloy from the corner. It's over almost everybody's head in the end. Morad and company had it for a moment. Memphis does get a chance to recycle the possession in the end. Kelly lofting it back into the penalty area. Kisiedu controlled it and lost it at the end, but the flag was up. And that negates any further action here for Memphis.
Yeah, I think he knew it as well as he took the first touch, and I think he realized the flag had gone up and then just sort of left the ball, didn't quite make contact with it, but I sort of feel as if they're slowly strangling Oakland Roots here, Memphis 901. They're winning the ball. They're keeping them stuck in their own half here, the Roots. They're getting turnover ball on a constant basis. And if you had to ask me who's more likely to win it at this moment, you've got to fancy Memphis once again. There you go, just giving the ball away too cheaply.
Kisiedu won it back. Chance here, Kelly and Kisiedu closed down by Hackshaw. Oakland counterattack here. They only tried. Rodriguez was brought down. It is a free kick. Akeem Ward has already been booked. Johnny Rodriguez reminded the referee of that.
Yeah, that was just a coming together. That wouldn't be a second yellow, but Akeem Ward has to be careful now because referees also do a totting up process, and if you have too many, there'll be consistent infringement. You don't want a second yellow for that.
Rodriguez is brought down again here. This time the yellow card does come out. Graham Smith has been booked here. This puts Oakland in a very good position here for a set piece themselves.
Certainly does, and I think that's a good yellow to take, Graham Smith. He got the wrong side there, or he allowed the attacker to get the other side. Have a look here. He's the wrong side, or Johnny Rodriguez has turned him somehow, and rather than take a risk, he just brings him down. That's more like a professional foul, and it's a yellow card you just accept because it stops Rodriguez getting through. But as you quite rightly say, it's a free kick right on the edge of the box.
I will say as well, Gary, a better ball there could have changed the color of that card. There were no defenders behind Graham Smith. It's a very dangerous challenge.
That's a fair point. It's a very fair point. It doesn't matter how you bring someone down. If there's no one behind, it's a red card. The referee probably sort of thought it was more of a shirt tug and a coming together of bodies as opposed to a tackle to bring someone down. But again, if there was VAR, we'd stop it and have a look and see if there were players behind and weigh it all up. And but in this case, referee has to make an instantaneous decision, and Ricardo Fierro has gone with a yellow card and the free kick.
We would have had quite a few VAR checks tonight, to be fair. Some more serious than others, must be said. In the meantime, Oakland have a real opportunity here to try and re-establish the lead that they have lost in this second half. Cedeno's goal canceled out. Laurent Kisiedu. Cedeno is over this. Is struck by Formella into the wall. Formella back to Cedeno, who shoots. And Bill Hamid is there.
It didn't connect it, did he, Cedeno? He's got a great chance. He's only 15 yards out. Trying to bend it far post, perhaps, but in the end, he doesn't get enough power on the ball. And his direction is straight at the goalkeeper. So opportunity lost there by the goal scorer to seal Cedeno.
Celebrate your next event with Oakland Roots. Groups of 10 or more can take advantage of specially priced tickets and enjoy memorable experiences, including player meet and greets, the Parade of Champions, playing on the field at halftime, and more. To reserve your group experience, contact us at tickets@rootssc.com or call 510-488-1144. Sean St. Jacques, Gary Bailey on hand for you. Oakland 1, Memphis 1, a result that would see Oakland be winless in 6 games and see them stay outside of the top 8 in the Western Conference. This, if it stands, would be a result that would actually see Memphis jump into the top 4 in the East. It would be a step in the right direction, I think, all things considered, after the way the last 2 games have gone for them. There's still time for the narrative to change. Nane. He got his shirt pulled there by Fernando, but play continues. In the end, Memo Diaz wins a throw. 15 minutes of the 90 remaining. It does look like Memphis is getting a couple of changes ready. We will get to that. Listen forward. Bruno Lapa on the turn for Memphis 901. Malloy is in support. Briefly forced back there by the substitute, Daniel Gomez. Couldn't win it back here. Nice little touch. Was in the path initially there for Memo Diaz to run onto. Reese Buckmaster defends the situation. They're coming together there. Nane holds off the challenge. Tamakis, so they're the two white shirts there for Memphis getting ready. Cedeno. 2 men on him. A chance here for Gomez. Nane. Well, he's sent into the penalty area. It's dangerous. Tamakis beaten to it in the air. Cedeno. Similar angle as the first half, but Hamid stops him this time. Well, it's almost a mirror image of his goal from the first half, except he took the low road this time, and Hamid was not going to be beaten at his near post on this occasion.
It's a lovely switch of ball, but look at this first touch coming up from Cedeno there, just perfectly weighted. Jelani Peters can do nothing about it, but you're right, he goes low. That's where the goalkeeper is, can't beat him this time.
Oh, and that was a real chance the other way here for Memphis. Pickering playing it in behind, but Fernando couldn't get to it. And here come the Memphis changes here. Brought to you by East Bay Community Energy. Rodrigo da Costa is going to come on for Bruno Lapa. And Rashawn Daly is going to come on as well. And Luis Fernando's 150th regular season appearance for Memphis will end here in the 78th minute.
Yeah, didn't do much today, Luis Fernando. Normally such a good impact player. Really didn't get on the end of much, didn't threaten too much, so time to give somebody else that chance. Sean Daly, good player, got 3 goals already this season, so he could be a handful for Oakland Roots in these final 12 or so minutes, plus added time, of course.
The game is still very much there to be won for both teams. Full touch forward into the path of da Costa. Daly, nice little move outside of the boot shot, and it goes wide of Blanchette's goal in the end. Just able to find a little bit of space there, the substitute, but couldn't put it on frame.
We talked about him having scored 3 goals, but interesting, and chatting to Stephen, well, and having a look at the Stephen Glass situation and the goal scorers, 12 different scorers and 11 different assists coming out of Memphis 901. So they really do spread the ability.
Formella in behind on Hamid, who clears. Push in the back against Jeremy Kelly. Sees Oakland win a free kick.
Nothing subtle about that, right in front of the referee. But yeah, 12 different goal scorers, 11 different assist makers. You do think it's a squad where everybody chips in with an impact, and that's why they had that incredible run of 12 unbeaten up until 2 games ago.
Sent forward by Hackshaw. And sent in the middle for Rodriguez. Rodriguez keeps it alive for Mella. Gets a boot to it, but it goes out of play for a goal kick. Oakland is going to make a couple of changes here, it appears. Trayvon Reed and Noir Alais are both going to come on here. Johnny Rodriguez, the first to make way here in this double change. And Joseph Nane is going to exit along with him here as Noah Delgado makes the double switch. 2 more East Bay Community Energy substitutions, and a couple more chess pieces moved around in these final 10+ minutes.
I think you're taking off a midfielder in Nane and putting on more of an attacking style of player in Trayvon Reed. So it does seem as if the coach is saying, get out there and let's try and win this game.
Dolly here gets to the byline, cross into the middle, blocked away only as far as Ward. Kisiedu trying to help out as well. And the cross, or I should say the clearance, takes a deflection on the way through. It finds its way back to Blanchette, who skies it high into the air here. Kisiedu battling for it with Reed and wins a free kick for Memphis. 9.5 minutes plus a big chunk, you would think, of stoppage time to play. It's still anyone's game here. Can someone go out there and seize a late moment?
I guess Oakland fans are thinking back to that Phoenix match and the goal by Artiaga in the 93rd minute. They've given up a few of those, Oaklands. They won't want to do it again here today.
Malloy serves it in. Hackshaw's header does come out for a chance, but it is skied over the top by Jeremy Kelly.
No problem for Blanchett, who really hasn't had much to do. Just the one goal going past him, which he couldn't stop. Other than that, hasn't been a lot of shots on target by Memphis.
Oh, it's a problem here for Emil Hackshaw. Played big minutes at the Gold Cup. Blue Bay for Trinidad and Tobago. It's not catching up with him here. For the time being, he's waving everybody away, and he'll play on.
It's interesting what the stats say, because my perception is Blanchett hasn't had a lot to do. I'll give you those stats in a moment.
Ball floated towards Reed. Chance for Oakland to pick up the pieces here. Trayvon Reed keeps the ball. Keem Ward maybe got the worst of that, and the referee took a moment. In the end, gives Memphis a free kick. Maybe an extended arm there from Reed. It was tough to tell initially.
That's what the referee indicated was an arm in the face. So let me give you those stats. 12 shots for Memphis and only 5 for Oakland Roots. But Oakland Roots, 5 shots, 3 of them have been on target, and of the 12 for Memphis, 4 have been on target. But I don't think those on target really bothered Blanchett that much. He had one good save from the free kick, of course, and other than that, the goal. Let's have a look. No, I think he was going down already before there was any contact. But okay, maybe the contact came as he was falling. So it does seem that Memphis have tried to be more the aggressor in terms of the shots. 6 shots inside the box compared to 4. And if we go to XG, which is generally the best way of measuring which team has had the better chances, Memphis 0.76, Oakland Roots 0.34. So concern there for Oakland Roots. It's their home game. They need to get back in the top 8. And Blanchett will want his players creating more opportunities and testing Bill Hamid a bit more often. To be fair, they had a few chances early on that Bill Hamid had to make some saves, but other than that, the goalkeeper in red there hasn't had much to do in the second half and towards the end of the first half either.
Ward was treated for a head injury there, and the explanation I can think of there, Gary, was the natural running motion of Reed. Did see his elbow come up close to Ward's head, but other than that, that did make the contact, and that would certainly be a tough one to take. Ward is okay, and we play on with 6 minutes plus injury time left. Formella. Back to Hackshaw. It's a foul and a free kick. It goes Oakland's way.
This is where it gets tough when you're playing. You played 85 minutes. You're tired, and you can see lazy tackles and lots of not keeping up with the ball. But who's got the desire most? Who's going to close down most? Who's going to come up with a little moment of magic? All comes down to these last 5 minutes and added time. And the more tired you are, the more difficult it is to make the right decision. So, very important part of the game. But I've got to say, for Memphis, congrats on a good second half. They came from 1-0 down. They showed character. If they do leave with a point, it'll be well-deserved.
This ball is looped in towards the back post, and chance for Barbier and Hackshaw to get on the end of that. It is out for a corner for Oakland on the far side. It's a corner kick powered by East Bay Community Energy. East Bay Community Energy and clean power at low rates. Visit abce.org to find out more. Can Oakland find that moment from this set piece? Searching ball into the penalty area. It's headed at the back post and it's gone in, but was it handled on the way through? Formella was in behind. Memphis are saying it was deliberately handled here, asking for a card.
Formella in trouble again. Let's have a look and see how this goes down. Ball gets whipped into the box. Causes a bit of confusion here. The header coming in from Palais. Yeah, he does use his hand, doesn't he, Formella? That should be a yellow card. There you can see the hand. The hand of God, as Diego Maradona once said back in 1986.
Almost looked like a little volleyball tap over the net, and Formella rightly is booked for deliberate handball.
He certainly has been in the middle of some controversial moments in this game, has Derek Formella.
No question about that. Formella's on it here, trying to slide it in behind. Hamid reads it very well off of his line with Palais, substitute, trying to get on the end of it.
And a brave one by the goalkeeper as well, to throw himself at Palais' feet there and risk getting a kick in the face. And he does that well, does Bill Hamid.
We have not been given any more information on that incident that happened earlier in the first, or I should say earlier in the second half, beg your pardon. And we are being told there's going to be a big chunk of stoppage time. And what we saw was Bill Hamid getting into it with Formella. And what we were told from the field is that there was a racial slur said. No one was booked, they just said it was heard. And the referee brought the coaches together. Officials from the league were brought into the conversation as well. And we have played on since then, but that is why we are going to have a big chunk of stoppage time at the end of the game.
I guess it's good news for both teams, because both teams need the 3 points, especially Oakland Roots. So they'll be happy at home, an extra 10 minutes to see if they can break down Memphis 901. I guess the Beale Street boys will be thinking, well, we're playing well, we're on the front foot, maybe we can get the winner.
Cedeno slides that through onto the far side. Put into the path of Palais, who keeps the possession alive. Tamakis gets in behind here for Oakland, keeps it in! And the shot was blocked on the way through. Reed took aim in the 90th minute, and it was blocked away off the 6-yard line. And a whistle for a foul ends the sequence here.
Well, that was Trayvon Reed's moment to be a hero. Palais turning well, knocks it out wide. Tamakis just can't quite get it, pulls it back. Now that's got to be on target from Trayvon Reed. Maybe the keeper saves it, but he totally mishits it. And if he'd hit that properly, he could have very well beaten Bill Hamid and got his team all 3 points. In the end, though, unfortunately for him, it's a mishit.
East Bay Community Energy change here. Dylan Borzak comes on. And Knight Pickering exits here in the 90th minute. We're being told there is going to be 9 added minutes at the end of this. And that is confirmed. 9 added minutes is up. We still have a lot of time left to see if there's going to be a late twist in the tale. Cedeno scoring in the first half, Kisiedu equalizing for Memphis in the second half. Peters for Memphis. Header is down by Morad, and Memphis win back the possession here. Kisiedu trying to curl it into the penalty area. He keeps possession. Nice turn into space. Kelly leaves it for Aaron Malloy. Oh, it's a gorgeous ball through. Oh, and Kisiedu's missed it. He can't believe his luck here. It's an absolutely dazzling ball in from Aaron Malloy on a silver platter. And Kisiedu can't believe his luck here.
Can't believe his luck or his inability to finish, because from there you've got to at least hit target. You're right, what a ball through. What a good first touch. Give Kisiedu the credit there for the first touch. He sets it up for what should have been the easier part and just totally mishits it. He was probably trying to bend it around the keeper there. Just doesn't get the right connection, and he knows it because his first touch was good, and you're 100% right. Aaron Malloy, what a through ball, and what a chance for Memphis to have grabbed the 3 points.
It's no wonder why Noah Delgado picked out Aaron Malloy as a player to watch for Memphis in this game. And he nearly set up the winning goal. Now Tamakis, did he get brought down here on the edge of the penalty area? Referee says no, at least not unfairly. And it's going to be a Memphis goal kick.
Tamakis saying he got a hand in the face, and that's why he went down. Okay, difficult to see exactly what happened, but he was in a good position and was looking to try and get that ball into the box. Tamakis, it's been good to see him back on the Oakland Roots side, because he really is a good threat down that right-hand side, pushing forward.
Sent forward by Hamid. Pressure being put on here by Palais. He does get onto the ball here for Oakland. But it goes out for a Memphis throw. He thought it was going to go Oakland's way, Palais. It did not. There's still a good chunk of stoppage time left here. Plenty of time for someone to find a winning goal. Ward, not once but twice, trying to send it forward. Kisiedu mistimed his jump. Oakland have it back in possession. Hackshaw, out wide it goes. It's helped along to that far side for Mela. Lays it off, it's sent into the penalty area. Ward deals with it. Again, Oakland get possession back here. Tamakis for Reed. He made a run into the penalty area. He chests it down. Malloy has him covered. Goes out of play. It's a goal kick.
At least they're on the front foot, Oakland Roots. Their fans will be happy. At home, they're pushing to get that vital goal. Young Prentice, who played the last 4 games, is going to come on and see if he can make an impact in the final couple of minutes.
East Bay Community Energy change. Formella comes off. Prentice is on for Oakland with 5 added minutes at a minimum still to play. Prentice hasn't scored yet this year. What a time it would be to pick out his first. Could he be a late hero for Oakland, who at the moment are still sitting outside of the playoff places in the West? If this result holds, chance for him to get onto it here. Prentice, it's crossed into the middle. Tamakis centrally, and then Reed tiptoeing, but finding the gloves of Bill Hamid in the end.
Does so well there to get to the ball and get the touchline. When you've got there, you've got to pull it back away from the goalkeeper. A couple of black shirts just waiting in the middle. And at least they're on the front foot, Oakland Roots. They had that scare with Kisiedu, just missed shooting from all of, what, 14, 15 yards out. And that really should have at least tested Paul Blanchett, if not hit the back of the net. But now it's the Roots at home looking for that winning goal.
It's up for grabs in the middle. Kelly controls for Memphis. Will turn away from one, has space to run into. Kelly rolls into the path of Rodrigo da Costa, trying to thread it through past Hackshaw. Memphis gets a corner at the end of it. And they try to press for a late winner. Memphis was down by a goal at the half. We talked about Stephen Glass's boys needing a response. It did come. Laurent Kisiedu equalized. And like you said, Gary, very nearly could have won it a few moments ago. Do the visitors have another moment up their sleeve here? In by Malloy, punched by Blanchett. It's kept alive here. Whipped back into the middle, it's got in! And the flag is up. Oh.
Wow.
Wow. And it was the substitute as well, Dylan Borzak, who thought he won it for Memphis. The flag thwarts him in the end.
What drama. Good punch from Blanchett. Gets it out. Let's have a look at the black shirts. Do they all get out? Do they leave anybody free in the middle there? It does look like he's offside, Dylan Borzak. It does look it, but it's hard to be 100% certain. But Oakland Roots had an offside goal called earlier in the match, so it does look like it's all evened out.
Tackle comes in from behind here. Yellow card. He's out for the goal scorer, Cedeno. And it might boil over again here. Kisiedu trying to keep some of the Oakland players away from da Costa, and more pushing and shoving.
It's getting a little bit chippy at the end here, if it hasn't been chippy already. The big boys coming head to head there.
Yellow card. He's out from the referee. I wonder if that's for the challenge still, or if he's going to handle another one. This is the challenge.
I thought there already was a yellow card for the challenge, so it might be something else. I mean, that's definitely a yellow. Doesn't get the ball, gets the player.
And I thought the same thing, Gary. Was the referee just writing in the initial yellow challenge, or was there another one upcoming?
Something upset Naveal Hackshaw and got him in a few players' faces, so I think it is another.
A red card did just come out there from the referee. We are going to need to see this get cleared up. It looked like the referee presented a yellow card, and Hackshaw is walking at the moment here for Oakland.
I wonder if Hackshaw raised his hand, because he started with a bit of pushing. I didn't see much, and then it continued. So was there a raised hand in somebody's face? Wow, this match is... there's going to be a lot of talking points when this game is over for the press to sift their way through.
It is Hackshaw, and Hackshaw got a straight red. Well, there have been some wild moments tonight, some controversial moments tonight, some potentially downright inappropriate moments tonight. But Hackshaw is gone, and Oakland are down to 10 for the remainder of proceedings here tonight.
I can only assume in the middle of all that melee, he's raised his hand in somebody's face, and there was a player on the ground in white, so...
There's the confirmation of the red card being presented to Hackshaw.
He's saying what, but it obviously happened a few minutes before that when they were all pushing and shoving. Thing is, though, there isn't much time left, so it's not going to really make a difference to the game, 10 men against 11, but it does give Memphis a free kick in a dangerous position.
Memphis is getting ready a change here, because Turchi is going to come on. Well, and Rodrigo da Costa, who just came on, he's going to be brought off here. That is a big blow for Memphis. He's making the energy sub, especially with the road trip they have coming up. 5 of the next 6 after tonight are on the road. He is a huge loss if this is serious. We don't know that, of course, but he was the one that was on the wrong end of the challenge.
And it was a bad challenge from Cedeno. He does get Rodrigo da Costa's ankle first before he gets anywhere near the ball. And when your weight is planted in that foot, then it can cause damage.
Turchi is on. We're into the 101st minute. Memphis get a free kick. At the tail end of that, and you can see on your screen there, Oakland are down to 10 for however many minutes we have left. Being told from the field that there could still be 3 minutes left here. From the free kick, Malloy falls for Kisiedu. Malloy's initial ball didn't quite get there. Recycles the ball out wide here. It's lifted into the penalty area. It's flicked on. That was Turchi's head into Blanchette's arms.
I think at this stage, Oakland Roots will probably take the point. Now they're down to 10 men. Probably just want to slow the match down and just see it out. As you mentioned, the point won't get them in the top 8, but it gets them very, very close. And this is a tough and very good Memphis side, so they might see a point as a decent point earned.
Turchi sliding it through here. Borzak up ahead. Kisiedu scored the first Memphis goal. Could have scored another. Tried to play in a teammate there. Memphis still gets a chance here, though. It's kept alive. Can they find a late moment here? Still just about enough time here for a twist in this game.
Another twist? There's so much controversy already.
So true. Oakland nearly got that away. It's still not been cleared. Chipped over the top for Borzak, and Blanchette off of his line is there, and well, in the end it wouldn't have counted anyway. The flag is up again.
But still credit Paul Blanchette. He had to make a brave save, put his body on the line, get his face in front of that ball and take whatever sort of hit he was going to take from Dylan Borzak, and he did it well, did Paul Blanchette. Well, I think even though they've had a rough time, Oakland Roots, and no wins in 5, now no wins in 6, should this result stand, the goalkeeper has been one of those you can't complain about, made some important saves in many of the matches that he has played.
And the game ends here in California. Well, lots of controversy here. Make no mistake about that, but in the end, as far as the result is concerned, it's a point apiece. In the end, Oakland stay outside of the playoff positions. Memphis jump into 4th at the end, but they don't get a win that they could have had at times. And of course, we did have that very, very rough moment at the beginning of the second half, and if what occurred did occur, it has no place in the game whatsoever. At the end, it finishes Oakland 1, Memphis 1 here in California tonight. We will get a chance to recap what happened in California coming up next.
Little things can make a big difference. To have families access much needed resources, Anthem Blue Cross and Oakland Roots teamed up to deliver 2,300 diapers to the East Oakland Collective. By supporting parents and babies, we can improve the health of our communities. Here's to a brighter future and many more random acts of kindness. Learn more at oaklandrootsatsea.com/anthem.
Wouldn't it be great to have delicious, healthy meals delivered right to your door? No planning, shopping, or prepping. And what if your delivery was full of plant-based, fresh ingredients that truly nourish and fuel your body? Try Thistle. Our in-house chefs create a new menu each week for you to choose from before it arrives ready to eat. No prep needed. And for a limited time, you can save $100 off your first 4 weeks. So go ahead and autopilot your diet. Get started today at jointhistle.com.
Sean St. Jacques, Gary Bailey back here with you. It finishes honors even in Hayward, California tonight. Oakland 6 games without a win. Memphis, in the end, do jump into 4th, and they do get a point after a couple of tough results last time out. Well, we get a chance to look at a great save here from Paul Blanchette. Aaron Malloy thought he had given Memphis the lead. In the end, Paul Blanchette makes a crucial moment in this game.
Fantastic save, both hands, gets his feet to get him across the box really well and strength to push it out of danger. So excellent save from the generally solid Paul Blanchett.
Let's look back at the highlights from this one. 33rd minute. It's a really nice finish from Jessiel Cedeno.
Cedeno there collides with Akeem Ward. He goes down, but Cedeno keeps on going, gets a tight angle. But as Hamid goes down to his knees, he puts it high over his shoulder. So it's a very, very good finish on the tightest of possible angles there. Although the defenders, Jelani Peters, does sort of let him take his time and have the shot instead of closing him down. And then there was pressure building slowly from the visitors, Memphis 901. They were looking for opportunities. This one just falls for Kisiedu, and he thumps it with his left foot. Blanchett gets a finger to it, but you're not going to keep it up with just a finger. Good finish. He did have a chance to win it, Kisiedu. Didn't take it, and that's why we have a draw, 1 point apiece.
Well, a lot of moments, a lot of twists and turns, plenty of controversy in this one tonight. But at the end, it finishes Oakland 1 and Memphis 1 in California tonight. And the plot does thicken in both the East and the Western Conferences in the USL Championship. For Gary Bailey and our entire crew, I'm Sean St. Jacques. We say so long from Hayward, California. It finishes Oakland 1, Memphis 1, amid controversy in Cali.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.